We've certainly seen our fair share of failures from the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the past several years, and even though fans called it out time and time again, the media continued to delude themselves and others that everything's fine, nothing's wrong. Case in point, Eternals. One of the first signs when we saw a lot of this shit that was getting pushed out, a group of superheroes who specifically were chosen because not a lot of people knew about them, so Marvel could race swap them and gender swap them and make them gay, and nobody would care. That was the entire theory behind Eternals, how diverse they wanted it to be. Didn't work out very well for them at the box office, but these were the headlines back then. Eternals didn't dazzle at the box office. No, it was a flop, a failure. But Marvel shouldn't be worried. Or you know what? Maybe they should have been worried. This is back from November 9th of 2021. Maybe they should have been worried all the way back then and listened to the fans. But no, they decided they wanted to do their own thing. But what makes me talk about this today is how it affects some actors in Hollywood who think that just because, hey, I finally got a Marvel gig, I finally got an MCU gig, I'm there, I'm going to be working forever now. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out that way. Case in point, Kumail Nanjiani, who was very willing to shit all over fans during this thing in the middle of this flop, if you guys remember that, when there was a lot of backlash towards the characters and their focus on inclusion and that the movie was terrible. He decided to shit on fans. Didn't work out well for him. Kumail Nanjiani revealed that he signed to play Kingo in 6 films and a video game. 6 films. They thought this motherfucker was going to be in 6 movies. And he thought he was going to be in 6 movies. He thought he was going to be working for a decade. Instead, this is where we are. Eternal star Kumail Nanjiani reveals the shocking number of MCU projects he signed up for as Kingo. I can't say, look, I don't know anything about the guy in his personal life or whatever. I can say I think that he's very unfunny in almost everything he plays. So I can't say that I'll miss him in the MCU if we don't see him too much. This is talking about how Eternals is bad, how it sucks, how it's a flop. Unfortunately, 4 years later, Marvel Studios still hasn't announced plans to resolve the movie's big cliffhanger. As a result, it's unclear when or whether we'll learn what became of the Eternals taken from Earth for judgment after their role in stopping the emergence. There are, however, some pretty intriguing rumors doing the rounds. Kumail Nanjiani played Kingo and was an undeniable highlight as the character. He was cringe and unfunny, like I find him in almost everything he does. In a new interview, he talked candidly about the disappointing reaction to Eternals that it had on him. It came out right after COVID, so I had a year and a half at home, just like when this thing comes out. Nanjiani said of his excitement for the world to see the movie and the expected impact it would have on his career. It came out. It got really bad reviews, and it didn't do that well. It shattered me too much. That was when I was like, oh, I need to go to therapy to figure this out. And that's true. This is a story from last year. Kumail Nanjiani needed therapy after the Eternals flop. There is some part of you that has to be like, just suck it up and accept it, right? Not everybody's going to like it. You know, it might not be a smash hit, blah, blah, blah. But no, this really affected him. And especially probably got a lot of shit after he was talking shit to fans. The Obi-Wan Kenobi star, another huge smash hit, went on to reveal what his MCU future looked like when he first boarded the franchise. I was like, this is going to be my job for the next 10 years. I signed on for 6 movies. I signed on for a video game. I signed on for a theme park ride. They make you sign on for all this stuff. You're like, okay, I'll be doing Marvel movies every year. And in between, I'll do my own little things, whatever I want to do. None of that happened, he noted. For me, what really hit me was realizing that too much of my self-esteem is wrapped up in other people's reactions to my work. People have way bigger problems than this. Hey, that's a good, at least you can learn and grow from it a little bit and stuff like that. But, you know, we've talked recently about Katie Sackhoff and her confidence getting crushed and it destroying her because of The Mandalorian season 3. Here you are, another Marvel actor who thought he had it made, thought everything was going to be perfect. And then it turns out the movie's actually a massive pile of shit and lost money. And yeah, you aren't getting that sequel. And no one has any desire for you to appear in any of these other movies. I guess it could be a little soul crushing. You know, Marvel, it's almost like you should have seen the warning signs. The writing that was on the wall when everybody in the mainstream media, they're still covering for Marvel all the time. They're not pressing them nearly like they should. But even now that they're coming around to acknowledge some of this shit, you can see why it was as bad as it was. The media covered for them all this time. Back in 4 fucking years ago. Eternals flopped, but Marvel shouldn't be worried. When is it going to be time to worry? I guess the time is now after all of these failures.